Happy Easter. Got an email from somebody today. Quote, I always seem to be trading against the dominant trend. I'm going to say that's pretty common. I used to do it. I occasionally still do it. Anyway, the email was basically asking for some ideas to stop doing that, and I wanted to show you, or I thought I might as well show everybody, a few ideas about how I went about it using my Heikin-Ashi tools. So this is a standard 5-minute SPX ES chart. These are actually my Heikin-Ashi bars. I've just got them not displaying in Heikin-Ashi mode, so they're essentially normal 5-minute candles. And the idea is to try and have something else on screen here to remind you what the dominant trend is, and maybe have a rule where you don't engage against it. So what can we do? So, quick easy thing for me, you can add the indicator to the chart. I'm just going to right click this because it's already on the chart, paste it in here. This is going to be an example, by the way, where you don't actually use Heikin-Ashi bars. You keep on using your existing standard, boring, quote, time bars. I don't mind the Heikin-Ashi bars themselves. In fact, I quite like them on smaller time frames, but some people don't. So now we've essentially got 2 copies of the Heikin-Ashi adapter, or indicator, sorry, on the chart. I'm going to go to this one that I just pasted. I'll change the HA type to an actual smoothed version and apply it, and you can see straight away the Heikin-Ashi bars are now overlaid on top of the time bars, and the appearance starts to change. But we're not going to have the Heikin-Ashi bars on the chart at all. So what we're going to do instead is just try and use their trend. So we're going to scroll down here a bit and put color chart background with bias, all bias changes on, and apply that. Sorry, one more thing we need to do is put require bar close. And you see the background of this chart has just changed. So what we have now is a red or green background depending on the bias of the Heikin-Ashi candles. And what we'll do to clean that up is we will actually turn show bars off. So now we're left with our standard 5-minute bars and a background reminding us what the current bias is. You can see it's still a bit choppy here and there. It's used 5-minute candles for me on Heikin-Ashi trend bars are not perfect. I mean, you can see here there's quite a nice run, but it's still a bit bitty. So what I would do is I would go back into my Heikin-Ashi here that we're using for the trend bias, and I would prefer to use a smoothed Heikin-Ashi. And if I apply that now, you'll see the bias background has changed. It's not as bitty at all. So you have significant chunk of red, significant chunk of green, red, green. So it becomes a bit more manageable. So you can see here, turns green. You do have pullbacks, which is obviously expected, but you're staying in the trend. Trend down, trend up, trend down, trend up. You get the idea. What you can also do, if we go down and look at the smoothing options for the smoothed version, sorry, where are we? Here, different types of smoothing. So if you want, you can play with the values, get yourself different smoothing options, see what works well for you. I actually just like the standard WMAs on most of my smoothing options. The other thing you can look at you can actually change from HA bars to delta mode, which is yet another type of smoothing, if you like. And this is the one I actually use on most of my trend biases. Looks a bit different here because you actually have periods of white as well. What that is it's all red here because it's an overall downtrend, but the bias turns white when the candles are going up against an overall downtrend. The same with the green. You'll be green, the patches in the white are where price is pulling back within an uptrend. So slightly different view, depending on whether you're looking to trade pullbacks or scale out of positions. It might be beneficial for you to see the whites. But the Heikin-Ashi delta in this mode is actually very powerful. If it's showing green, generally, unless you're specialising in fade trading, you do not want to short. If you wait until you've got red, your short opportunities are going to be well, much higher success rate, put it that way. And I've traded against these in the over the years, and I can tell you it generally hurts. So again, one of the things you can do to build confidence, when a trend starts, you will generally get a pullback quite quickly if you're waiting for confirmation of a trend. That can be a bit disconcerting if you're new, because you get in when a trend starts and almost straight away it goes against you a bit. The idea is to try and look for pullbacks, but what you can do, a big thing you can do to build confidence, is look where your trend starts and ends and put a ruler on it, and do that and then look at your number of bars and look at your Y values to basically determine how much a trade can typically go in your favour if you were in fact following these trends. And if you trade with an appropriate size so that you don't get scared out of your trade when it goes a little bit against you, you can try and get yourself in the mindset of being far more comfortable to allow the little trend to work and for you to get a reasonable number of points. This little exercise, drawing up and working out what I call my MFE, which is obviously max favourable excursion, if you do that, it can rewire your brain a little bit just to, as I say, make you more comfortable to sit in the trade and actually let it go to where it's going without being wiggled out all the time. So there you go, just a couple of ideas. Hope it helps the person who originally sent me the email, and if it helps anybody else, all the better. Cheers, happy Easter.